So, hello, active traders, and welcome to our Trading Week Ahead broadcast. I'm Ken Calhoun coming at you live from Las Vegas, in the great state of Nevada here with 110-degree days. We're going to look forward to today's session. Let's jump into it. Remember last week I had mentioned to you that we had some bearish overhang here, right? We had a shooting star and a bearish engulfing. So that's not good. No bueno. And sure enough, the market did drop as anticipated in the tail end of last week. So we want to be, number one, we want to be careful with any longs, meaning small share size, primarily in the pharmaceutical and the semiconductor sectors. And one of the things I want to look at also is our inverse ETFs. So live room movers were given good alerts last couple of days for this, and giving you guys a look here. One of the first things you want to do when the market starts to go down at least 3 days in a row, which it just did, okay, is look for inverse ETF plays like SQQQ and SOXS that go up when the market goes down, right? It's like shorting the market. Hey, crypto, good to see you, man. Hey, thanks, appreciate it, yeah. Well, good to be back. So now this one broke the moving average line, so that's a good long signal, right? Whenever something's been in a continuous downtrend like this, and it bounces over MA line, that's an initial trade alert. So that's a long alert in our SOXS right now that's generated yesterday. Okay, so with that broad market look in our rearview mirror, again, the market itself has 3 days downtrending pattern, and so that is a broken market. When you have 3 days, that means the trend has been broken, especially when you're under a previous resistance area like this. We may have what my colleague Steve calls a change in polarity, where a new old support becomes new resistance. Old resistance becomes new support, but I see no evidence of support yet. So if it does bounce off that, then that would be that pattern. But right now, we have just a momentum pullback in an uptrend. So in that particular pattern, we want to focus on the very strongest charts, like this one. So I'm just going to go through our best charts and go through them quickly. If you have any tickers you'd like me to pull up, please do so. Post your tickers, and we'll take a look. Hey, James from Chicago. I used to live in Wheaton, a suburb of Chicago. Right, so here's AOSL, the semiconductor, really strong sector. It's doing a pullback. I'm going to look at a breakout long and new highs if that goes that way. So again, in this market where it's been in a strong uptrend, but now it's kind of broken and pulling back, you want to only focus, as usual, on the strongest charts. So a little closer here to the camera. So AOSL's one. And Jen, I mentioned for you guys last week, it's still going up. Hey, right? Still going up here. We have large green candles, so that's a good thing. Large candles, but we're stalling up here with bearish upper tail. So Amgen's still a good long up at new highs. The one that's kind of a surprise gapper yesterday was Hawaiian Electric, right? HE, a really nice gapper, and I call it long for people in the pre-market, and did really well for us, spiked up nicely. So that's HE, the ticker, nice gap continuation if it takes out new highs. Another one that caught my fancy this morning was HUT. I don't know what HUT 8 is, but it's a good chart. Nice trend up. We got a shooting star there, sideways, then a gap. We don't want to go long until it breaks at least the previous high, so that's a good uptrend, HUT 8. This is a better chart, INSM. I believe I gave this to you guys last week, and it continues to look really promising, especially with the uptrend in our Friday, or uptick in Friday's session. Look at intraday in just a minute. RGS, another good one. Now, and for those of you who've worked with me for many, many years, you remember it's one of my favorite patterns. You got a small horizontal body green candle, small green candle followed by a large green candle. That's a good momentum long signal above the high. So that's a good setup, is a small followed by large. Kind of what I call a tee off, like golfers. I am here on the golf course and I can see golfers every day. They tee off, right? Small chip and then boom, down the fairway. So small, large, whole body green candles. And the last one is Vertex Pharma. We mentioned that one for you last week, a really good uptick in that one as well. Let's take a look at the intraday here. One thing I want you to pay attention to is our swing trading charts as well. Right. Right. So anyway, let me know if any charts. I'm going to wrap up quickly here. I don't have too much else to say. That was the list that I mentioned just a few minutes ago. I got to find it again, right? It's in here somewhere. Crikey. There we go. I think of all of these, I believe INSM is the strongest of the charts because it's a continuous uptrend with a nice green candle in the upper right corner, a steady uptrend despite the pullback the last several days. One of the things you want to look at is relative strength. So how is the chart that you're trading doing relative to the broad market chart? And of course, you always want to trade charts that beat the market. So if the market's going up in a pullback, if you're in a chart that goes up and holds or goes up and even better, goes up higher, that's a very strong chart relative to the broad market. So for that reason, we like charts like this one. The gap are like this, uptrends like this, especially those that have recent evidence of lots of recent buying, which is a large green candle. So either gap continuations or strong large green candles in our current markets work. All right, let me open it up for tickers. If you guys have any tickers you'd like me to pull up, let's go ahead and do that, and we will see what you got. Someone's asking about Costco. We got NVIDIA. Costco's weak, right? It got broken on this day. That's one thing I want you to look for too. It's a very helpful strategy is look for breaks in the trend of significance, whether it's an uptrend breakout, which we want prolongs, or a break in the trend that tells you should no longer hold this position if there's a relatively large, much larger than average green or red candle day. So if you got a larger than average candle, which this one is, that means, again, it's like having 3 downtrending chart days. It's like a broken chart. So that says, abandoning, I would sell all, not a trade recommendation, but if we lose support here, you want to sell all Costco. You won't want to get in until it gets back over here. Let's see what else. AMD, let's see what. I think AMD has been relatively sideways compared to NVIDIA, so and other semiconductors. Yeah, that's a distress chart. So AMD is definitely a sell if it loses support down here. Costco's a sell as well. This one ever looks like a buy at new highs, as does Amgen and INSM, and the others I covered. Let's see. I'm asking Disney. I haven't traded Disney in a long time, so no. The Magic Kingdom is not looking good. Bounce and Diz, no, I don't see any bounce. I see evidence of a lot of selling. So if you're in Disney and sell it all and new lows, I would not be interested at all in buying. What I would be interested in buying is something like this, right, at new highs. What else? Other inverses. No, from a volatility standpoint, the best range comes in our SOXS instrument and the SQs. SOXS and SOXL are 2 to play against each other. So for example, with the market dropping, SOXS is bouncing. So it's a pivot to the upside, going short semiconductors. And this is a really good setup for it because it's got 3 green candles and they'll break over the moving average line, right? So that's a pattern to buy up at new highs. Now, I issued buy alerts for my members in the live room the last couple of days in this one, and they worked out great for those of you who remember. So that was good. Good news for us. A quick reminder, I do have my live room open again at daytradinguniversity.com/live. And we've got lots of information there for what that includes and so forth. So do take a look at the video and more at daytradinguniversity.com/live. So what else? TSM, let's see. There we go. See, Taiwan Semiconductor has not been as strong as NVIDIA. So big picture, historically, it's been a very, very good chart, the TSM. But lately, not so much, right? It's pulled back, it's broken, it's a gap down in this chart. So I would not be looking at that. So that's about Citi. Now, although I like the uptrend, I don't like the choppiness or the oscillating large ranges. That's another thing. Remember, large green candle is good, but large green/red or up and down candles are not good because it tells you the strength of the selling, the offset by the buying, it gets sold again. So it's up and down. So that's not good. We want charts instead that look like this one. We've got a consistent uptrend and a large green recent candle. So, all right, traders. Well, I think that's gonna do it for now. I know it's a short session, but I don't have anything else to say. So I want to wish you guys the best, and do take a look at some of these. My favorites are AOSL and INSM and RGS. Those are my three favorites. If I had to pick three, I know you guys asked me to narrow the list down, and that would be it. The AOSL, INSM, and RGS. So anyways, take care. I wish you guys the best. And if you want to join the live room, it's risk-free, so give it a shot, and I will see you next time. Bye for now. Be safe out there. All right, take care.